Hello, everyone. Hope that you're having a great time at the ETHR World NexTech Southeast Asia HR Summit and getting to learn more on what's making the world of work go through such a transformation. It is now time for an exciting case study presentation on the topic, Taking Workforce to the Future, presented by the Center for Healthcare Innovation, Singapore. Healthcare needs to change to meet demographic shifts, increasing demand, and rising costs. To change healthcare, success lies in its transformation of the healthcare worker for tomorrow. In the face of these disruptions and increasing adoption of automation and digitalization, healthcare workers must be equipped to redesign their jobs and upskill themselves to drive innovation and productivity. The Center for Healthcare Innovation Systems approach to innovation, called the innovation cycle, is an iterative cycle that starts with redesigning care and processes, then leveraging technologies and sustaining the change by redesigning jobs to deliver better care and job value. In today's case study presentation, our speaker will share the hospital's journey using the innovation cycle to transform the workforce. And it is with great pleasure that I invite and introduce our speaker for this session, David Dhevarajulu, Executive Director at Center for Healthcare Innovation, Singapore. A change maker steeped in valuable experience, David leads Singapore's healthcare transformation as the Executive Director, Center for Healthcare Innovation, Singapore, enabling healthcare training through new andragogy. In this role, David helms a team that encourages co-learning and collaborations across borders and industries, facilitates job redesign, and drives innovative initiatives and projects. So without further ado, let me hand over the frame to David to take us through an insightful case study. Over to you, David.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. My name is really a tongue twister, but you can call me Didi for short. I'm the Executive Director for the Center for Healthcare Innovation. And I would like to start with a short video that sort of introduces the key mental model we use within the center to do the work that we do and what really keeps us awake at night. Can we play the video, please? The Center for Healthcare Innovation is positioned as a co-learning network to do three things. The first, to build thought leadership. The second, to drive workforce transformation. And the third, to enable workplace learning through new pedagogies. Through our learning networks, we hope to work with our partners as a community of practitioners to deliver value to our staff and to our patients.
At CHI, we believe that innovation occurs in a cycle. It all begins with care redesign. And where it has its place, then technology comes in to improve productivity and to reduce waste. And finally, all that allows us to redesign jobs so that we end up with more meaningful jobs for ourselves and much better value care for our patients. The Ng Teng Fong Healthcare Innovation Program, that's a grant that will help projects that are involved with care redesign and device innovation. The Ng Teng Fong Center for Healthcare Innovation, that's a 9-story building packed with conference facilities that we can get together, learn, think, and plan for the future.
Okay, the key mental model within the center that drives much of the work that we do is called the innovation cycle. This describes our systems approach in keeping our workforce current, relevant, and digitally dexterous. The innovation cycle starts with process and care redesign. To facilitate this, we use lean tools to process map the entire process end-to-end with a keen eye to optimize the process. Now, where we are different from many other industries who also do something like this, we couple lean tools with design tools, UI, UX tools. Now, this is important. It allows us to explore not just utility of work processes in meeting business needs, but also factors in the hopes, dreams, and aspirations of our staff and the patient community that we serve. Work then becomes meaningful for staff and delivers value to our patients. Next, we introduce AIR, automation, IT, and robotics to hardwire the optimized care processes. When AIR is applied this way, it leverages technology to deliver value. Very often I've come across industries who use novel technology just because they're very excited about it. But this actually results in suboptimal outcomes. The last step in the innovation cycle is job redesign. When jobs are redesigned this way, the identification of knowledge and skills keeps pace with business change in a very agile manner. I'd like to, at this point, to illustrate how this particular innovation cycle was used in our pharmacy unit by way of a short video. But a little bit of background before I play the video. Now, some of you would already know the pharmacy is the last stop in a patient's journey. And it has the longest wait time associated with numerous complaints. Underemployment of farm techs who are involved in picking and packing is also very evident. And staff attrition, just to name a few of the concerns that we have in our pharmacy. Now, when the innovation cycle was employed in optimizing the pharmacy, we noticed two things happen. The entire pharmacy process was reviewed not just to optimize the flow with automation, but it also freed up our farm techs to do more value-added activities like medication reconciliation. Now, this had a huge impact on productivity, as you will find out as we go through the video. The second is the engagement of the patients and the staff using ethnographic tools like design thinking. It also served to address staff attrition and had a positive impact on compliments. Let's watch the video. Okay, now it's interesting, right? Now, what does this have to do with learning and development? And what does this have to do with high-tech and high-touch workplaces? I would like to argue, to keep workforce currency, business needs must drive learning in an agile way. When job redesign is linked this way, it is very responsive to organizations' needs. And you don't really need to wait for an annual LNA before you align learning to business. AIR, or automation, IT, and robotics, is a very expensive investment. But if it is introduced arbitrarily, it may not be espoused by staff or align with key business change and the outcomes that we want. Conversely, when technology is introduced via process redesign using improvement tools and design methodology, it brings about a high-tech, high-touch marriage that will leverage technology investments many times over. And finally, when job redesign is the last step, it allows you to upskill your workforce in tandem with business needs in a very agile manner. I would like now to share with you how we have used the innovation cycle over the last few years to continuously and iteratively prepare our workforce for the future. Okay, we call this journey our job value expansion through the innovation cycle. Let me start with Workforce 1.0, where the innovation cycle was applied to the individual worker in Workforce 1.0, and the example given here is our patient services associate. In the past, our patient services associate performed largely administrative tasks like managing inquiries, performing registrations, making appointments, and collecting payments. Today, with the support of IT and automation, our PSAs are performing higher value-added activities like drawing blood and simple clinical processes like Euroflow. Next, Workforce 2.0. Applying this approach beyond the individual to a teamwork level allows every staff to perform at the top of their license. An example of this can be seen in our I department. Admin staff in the department are trained to take over visual field tests from the I technicians, freeing them and the clinicians to spend more time treating more complex I cases. Workforce 3.0 builds upon Workforce 1.0 and 2.0. When business needs change, there is a need for us to rethink and skill our workforce beyond just the individual or the team level. For example, with an aging population, care models are changing to deliver care beyond hospital walls. This requires us to fundamentally rethink our care delivery approach, that is many to one to many in a community setting. Applying job redesign tools aided by our innovation cycle, we are now equipping our staff to be transdisciplinary. For example, our therapy technicians who used to be skilled in a particular skill areas are now cross-skilled in physiotherapy skills, occupational therapy skills, and speech therapy skills in caring for an aging population in the community. And finally, Workforce 4.0. Even as care moves beyond our walls, we are exploring how we can skill our workforce to provide seamless care as patients transition from home to hospital and back to home. We are now on a journey to review our entire process, aided by technology to engender a digitally enabled workforce who will use technology to care for our patients 24/7. Now, this requires a workforce to not only have workforce skills 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, but also to be digitally dexterous. Yeah. So let me conclude with my last slide and a short video that explores the future of learning seen through the eyes of our innovation cycle. The traditional way of skilling our workforce is no longer tenable, at least for us. If we want to build a workforce that will iteratively keep itself current and relevant, we do need to take a business lens that is hardwired to build workforce capabilities. In our hospital, we use the innovation cycle. Now, this allows us to shift from a purely competency-based model to one that builds adaptive capabilities. So what does the future hold? Let's watch the next video.
Have you ever imagined what learning is for us in 2030? Today, these are our digital learning modalities. This is a glimpse of our future of learning plans. Our need for technology to make things better and different will be evident. Your mobile device will be the activator that enables personalized learning anytime, anywhere. Lifelong learning is no longer a dream. Having our own individual playlists aided by deep learning AI chatbots will help us predict and prescribe our continued learning. Building innovative mindsets with cutting-edge AR allows us to engage and interact in high fidelity. Learning will be a social experience through virtual communities of learning and practices. Immersive mixed media VR brings us all together, regardless of our physical location and time. Better care through telehealth will develop new clinical care capabilities. With a new mobile-enabled LNA system, learning and development opportunities will be bridged easily. Learning is proximal to work in this digital workplace, building collective leadership together as we continue to future-proof our workforce. Self-directed learning will continue to reward us to do our jobs well, better, and differently.
I hope that inspires you. Watching this actually gives me goosebumps. And it's a journey that I'm very thankful for and the people I work with. I'm very happy to network following this webinar of sorts and to take questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, David, for a detailed and insightful session. In these ever-changing times that we are living in today, it is absolutely imperative to redesign jobs. And I believe Tan Tock Seng Hospital is doing a commendable job at it. It was really heartening to see how technology has empowered your workforce to provide the best medical services to the entire Singapore. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us and going through this case study presentation. We will see you for the next session, which would be a panel discussion on the topic, Future of Work, It is Happening Now. See you on the other side, everyone. And once again, thank you so much, David, for joining us for this session.
Thank you.